Hi. Today is the 15th of August, and it is reveal day for the Stuck Sketches second sketch for the month. This is their sketch. Keep my camera. There we go. And I thought I'd give it a go. I'm going to be using two square photos, older photos of my husband and my older two children. And I think I'm going to be able to use some of my August Hip Kit Club. It came in the mail and I have yet to crack it open. We'll see. It might be a little too girly for what I want to do, but we'll see. So I will let you watch this and I'll stick you on fast forward. Thanks. I'm going to start by kind of going through the kit and trying to figure out which two papers I would need, which could go together. I settle on these two, or these four that could possibly be. And it ends up just being these two. I'm going to cut my photos down with a little bit of a border and figure out how I'm going to arrange them. Just showing you the papers that they are. Now I'm going to just cut these with an X-Acto knife and my ruler. I'm going to cut this one corner to corner, and then I'm going to cut the other one a little bit longer so it has something to glue to. I'm going to use my mat to make sure I keep them at a 12 by 12. I'm just going to hold them together and get the thinnest score tape I have. I think it's an 1/8 inch thick. And just stick it underneath there. I wasn't sure if I was going to stitch this line, so I wanted to make sure I didn't fill that space with adhesive to gum up my machine. I don't end up stitching the line, but I wasn't sure at this point if I would. And for security of the flopping around, I'm just going to, yay, I finished one, sorry. I like to celebrate that when I finish a roll of washi tape. I'm just going to tape the back seam so that it has more support. The first thing I'm going to do is gesso, and I'm just going to pour the gesso on and use an old credit card to spread it around. It's going to stick right in the crevice a little bit. So I use my fingers to spread it out so it has a soft edge and no real lines. I just wanted to give it more of a blurry look in the center. You can still see that there's a line there, and I'm not fooling anybody by the fact that there's two papers, but I just wanted to blur the line a little bit. At this point, I'm kind of unsure what I'm going to put the center. I'm thinking I'll do stamps. This is 49 in market stamps. And I'm thinking I just like the idea of a bunch of circles. So I use most of these stamps in this set. And I'm going to go with more of a blue teal, and my black comes out as a purpley color for some reason. And just randomly stick them down, spread them around. These are just some old inks that I've had from I think close to my heart. Got them on a clearance sale at a crop I was at. So there are those varying colors of blues, teals, and greens. I'm just testing them on my ink pad. That one is going to be thrown away. It is just completely garbage, all chewed up. It was really tacky too. I use some of them at full strength and some as off prints, stamp offs, I guess they call them. Kind of remind me of bubbles at this point. I end up using all of the circles. The large one, I do one stamp in the center, and I wasn't sure how much of it would show. Based on that's kind of where I was putting the photos, but you do see little bits of it. I guess I do a second one. You barely can see it. And the third one, barely see it. I'm looking at the layout now and they're just faint. And then I'm going to use the two hearts. And like I said, I'm going to use the black, but for some reason, maybe it's the gesso. It looks purple. Purple on the stamp and on the page. So I'm not sure what happened. I even checked it to make sure it was black. It works for my layout, but I was surprised. I'm going to add an additional layer after I sprinkle. This is Coal by Tattered Angels, and this is Vibes Snow White, I believe it's called. Snowstorm. And then I also did silver in the Ranger metallics. I'm going to add vellum. The one side, the right side is a goldy copper color, but I want it to not have, I want it to be more of a silver color, so the back side of these arrows come up as silver, so I'm going to use it reverse. Just varying size of circles, overlapping the ones that they have that are stamped. I'm going to end up stitching those down in silver thread. Just put a little adhesive on them so they don't gum my machine up. This just kind of softens some of the darker ink up. I guess I fast forwarded, I'm sorry, to after I have all those rings down. We Are Member Keepers reinforcers. I punched them out of glitter adhesive and it stuck and it was a pain, so I didn't want you to have to go through all that with me. Those are the stickers that came in the hip kit, and these are Mini Market from October Afternoon, and it's just going to say Dad Phase 1. And the tag is, I thought might have the journaling on it. It doesn't end up having the journaling on it though. I thought that these might need a little darker color around them. So this is, I think, Echo Park paper from the Agenda kit, I think. Just some scraps I had. I don't know if it did what I wanted to do, but it's a layer behind each photo. That heart is from the chipboard sheet from the kit. It doesn't end up making it on the layout, but I thought I'd try. Just going through the ephemera pack. I want a little cluster on the right side of the photos. So I'm going to go through the kit and see what I got. I'm just sticking these hearts on a piece of wax paper so I can decide where I want them. I'm going to stitch these. Just X's and silver thread over all of the vellum circles. It just gives a texture. It doesn't really change much of the color. They don't really show up all that much, but it's a texture. Just trimming all the threads. In fast speed, it looks very dangerous with the scissors, but it wasn't. And I'll show you, yep, just X's. Put the photo cluster down. When I did that, I moved the tag down a little bit so that the words could go on top of it, onto the photo. I'm going to take these off, and I don't make you watch me do this either because that was not easy. So I'll do one, and there we go. We fast forwarded to the rest of them. Just has a nice glimmer. This is leather cording, and it gives me a bit of a fit. It likes to, the tails of these like to go where they want to go. It's stiff. So I fuss with it. I end up stapling it down and then taking the staples up because it didn't work either. Before I retie it into the hole instead of just tying a bow. These are Tim Holtz phrase stickers. I'm going to pull 3 of them off to use, and I only end up using 2. I'm creating my little cluster here, and I'm going to put one of these phrase stickers, and it says remember to play on it. That's just a very thin chipboard flag clip from Gossamer Blue. I decide not to journal on here, and I'm going to put washi tape on here, but this one is all in French, and I didn't like that for this layout. So I went and got a different one. More of a scripty font and some calculations. You don't end up seeing all of it. It's washi tape I got from AliExpress. Now I keep the hole covered at this point because I wasn't thinking I needed it. But I do end up popping a hole in there and tying that on there because it's a pain. Deciding if I want to use any of these wood buttons from the kit. I have pulled one. I'm looking again for something to go underneath here. That one would have worked, but it was too green, I thought. So I liked this one a little better. You don't get to see what it says. It's just more of a base. And I try the magical one there, but it doesn't really work for what I want to say. Stick the tag on. Get this cluster together. And that looks about right. I'm still trying to fuss with that. Here I go, I staple it. And when I stapled it, the staple made the tail squirrely. So then I staple it down, and then the staples are in the way for what I wanted to do next. So I ended up just taking it off and tying it. I'm going to slide the title on. I like how the tag gives it a spot to go. And Dad fits between the H and the photo. And then this phrase sticker says, hold tight and pretend it's a plan. With that wood tag, I thought I needed some more wood veneer. So I play with this wood heart. And it's not working. I'm going to pull a label and fuss around with that. I don't want much journaling. So here I pry these up and think I'm going to put that here. All right, label's going to stay there. I think this is where I pop a hole and say I'm just going to tie it. I love them because they're nice and soft and they're thick, but they're not the easiest to deal with. That heart is too blue, so I end up don't use it, but I need something else here. I'm just going to write in silver pen, circa 1999. I'm going to stick both the hearts right next to here. Brush everything off. I'm going to show you some live close-ups. You just see the vellum, it just softens it. And there is that cluster. The glitter rings are very, very glittery, shiny. I'm going to flip this over and write layout 115 of 2017, the date. This is a stuck sketch from 8/15 and process video 35. And I also used it for Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge for week 4. And those are just from my records. Here's the sketch. I wanted to show it to you up close. And the rest of the still shots. Thanks for watching. I hope to have a few more uploaded soon. So please come back. Bye.